What's up, you guys, and welcome to a brand new video. My name is Lana for those that are new, and if you are returning, welcome back to another video, guys. Today is a type 1 diabetes video, and I decided to do kind of like a sit down video. Y'all know I love to talk to you guys. Y'all give me really good feedback whenever I do have my little chit chats, and so I wanted to just sit down with you guys and give you guys a couple of tips for maybe those newbie, if your kid is newly diagnosed with type 1, or maybe if you've been doing it for a while, you're just a little bit defeated. This is just a video to give you guys a little bit of motivation of the things that I have learned over the last couple years. So if you're interested in knowing some of my helpful tips with dealing with type 1 diabetes and your kid, then keep on watching. All right, so first things first, I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory in case you guys are new to the channel, you haven't watched any of our other videos, whatever. So this is just a quick little background for you guys. So my daughter London is 8 years old, and she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 4 years old back in 2018. I do have a story time video, so I'll go ahead and link it in the cards above if you want to check that out. But basically, we knew that something was going on because she was very thirsty all the time. She was peeing a lot, so we figured something was wrong. We went and had her checked out, and come to find out her blood sugars were super high. So fast forward, we get out of the hospital and we have all of this new information, and we're just kind of thrown into the world with this newly diagnosed type 1 diabetic kid, and we're just pretty much have to figure it out as we go. So I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but these are just some of the things that helped us along the way, and I am learning these things as well myself. Some of these points that I'm going to touch on, I'm still working on it myself, but trust me, it will help. So first and foremost, I know it's scary. I know it feels like you just don't know what to do, and you just don't know how things are ever gonna get back to normal, right? But trust me, guys, things will get back to normal. You guys will find a new normal for you guys. So it will be a little bit different, but guess what, guys? You will find that peace again. So I know you're overwhelmed with so much information. I know you feel like you just want to kind of protect your kid, want everything to be okay, but trust me, it will be okay. Tip number 2, learn as you go. One of the best things that you can do is just equip yourself with enough knowledge from reading things online, learning from the nurses from your clinic, when you go to the endocrinology appointments, asking as many questions as you can. If you think of a question, you can email the nurse, email the doctor, and a lot of times they'll get right back to you. So just trying to educate yourself with as much knowledge as you can. Now, I will say it's not a good thing to just go overwhelmed, just go so laser focused that the only thing that you're focused on is learning every single thing you can about type 1 diabetes. I think a lot of it is trial and error. Once you kind of figure out your routine and you know what you're doing, a lot of it is, okay, well, this worked this time, this didn't work this time. What can we do different? Kind of like experimenting, because no day is the same for any type 1 diabetic. So as long as you're learning as much as you can, being informed on the things, and then advocating for your child whenever you go to appointments or anything, getting what your kid needs is super important. So don't ever let them tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that. Fight for your kid and what your kid needs, because only you know what's best for your kid and what they need. Don't make diabetes all about what they can't do, what they can't eat, what they can't have. That just makes it so much worse than it already is. We're already dealing with a lot, and to just have to tell your kid, no, you can't eat this because of this, or you can't have this because of that, it kind of demonizes food in a sense, and a lot of times they can grow to resent certain things, and you don't want that. So just learn. Give a little here, a little there. And this is one of the things I'm working on personally, is just letting my kid kind of be a kid and do the things that they want to do. My daughter is getting to the age where she wants to be in after school activities and sports and go over friends' houses. And it's just a scary thing to have to put your trust in somebody else for them to watch your kid, make sure your kid is safe, and it's just a little hard. So I'm learning to release the reins a little bit and to let my daughter go out over her friend's house. I mean, I can always see her numbers because of her CGM. She has a cell phone, so we text and I let her know, hey, if you're going out, you have to make sure that you're communicating with me with what you're eating. If I'm texting or calling you, I need you to answer. So just like certain things like that, just letting go of the reins. Of course, it will depend if your kid is younger or older. You kind of just have to play it by ear. A kid that's a lot younger, they will need you to do a lot more for them. So they might not be ready to go out and do certain activities, but just to get them out in the world, maybe sign them up for a mommy and me class or something that they can just get out and feel like a normal kid and not feel like they are just diabetes. And oh my goodness, you guys, this next point, do not obsess over diabetes. You will have good days, you will have bad days. Like I said, no day is the same, but what you can't do is you can't try to micromanage and obsess over their numbers 24/7. I remember when Alunda was first diagnosed, we didn't have the CGM, so literally at night, I don't think I slept for like the first month. Honestly, like I just didn't get any sleep. I was constantly worrying about her numbers, poking her finger way too much, and so I was constantly checking her numbers, trying to make sure she was good. That was the only thing that was on my mind. Or if something else was on my mind, her diabetes and what I needed to do was always in the back of my mind. So even now, when she's just started third grade, going back in person, she was doing virtual for 2 years, so I really didn't have to worry about it. But now that she went back in person, I kind of had to just stop looking at her numbers constantly. I would literally be watching her numbers, watching her graph, and it's like, you know what? That's gonna drive you crazy. So just relax. I'm not saying just let go completely. You still have to, manage it to the best of your abilities, but just don't obsess over the, oh, she's going too high or she's going too low, or trying to keep her within a tight range. Like, it will be okay. I promise it will be okay. And you will drive yourself crazy trying to constantly manage the diabetes. So with that, the highs and the lows, we can't beat ourselves up about it. Like I said, no day is the same. We will have good days. We've had so many good days lately. And then boom, out of nowhere, we get a bad day where she's just high all day. And for no rhyme or reason, we can't figure it out. It's just one of those things. So do not beat yourself up about it. It will be okay. Like I said, you just rebound, you learn from it, you try to see maybe what could have happened. Like I said, sometimes it just can't be explained. It just is what it is. But if you beat yourself up about it and you just harp on the bad, then it would just be miserable, and that's all you will focus on is the bad and trying to prevent bad things from happening and trying to prevent the highs or the lows, which will honestly drive you crazy. Talking to your kid about their feelings is also very important, especially in today's day and age where you have your kid in school. Kids can be cruel, they can be mean. I just had a situation with London. I'll go ahead and link that blog if you want to find out about what happened. But it is so important to talk to your kid about their mental health. Ask them how they're doing, how they're dealing with it. If they feel anxious, if they feel worried, if they feel sad, if they feel angry. All of these things your kid is going to go through, and you just have to try to help to work through them. And opening that line of communication will just let them know that you're a safe space, that they can come to you whenever they're feeling any type of way. And like I said, I was so glad my daughter felt comfortable enough to come to me about what was going on with her. And it just kind of lets me know that I'm doing something right. And I just try to help her as much as I can. Let her know that she is so much more than just her diabetes and that everything will be just fine. It is so many other people in this world that have grown up from having diabetes when they were young, and now they're so much older and they're doing everything on their own, managing life and just living wonderful lives. So just trying to stress to her that it will be okay. Everything will work out. All right, you guys, the last tip I have is to take responsibility for managing your kid's diabetes. Now, I guess this will depend on whatever age your kid is. I'm not going to say that kids don't need any type of responsibility for themselves and their diabetes, but it is definitely super stressful for a kid to have to manage the highs and the lows, for a kid to have to try to think about, okay, if this happens, then I need to do this. Like, it's a lot that goes into it, and it can be complex at times. So I just say, let kids be kids and let them just live their life, be as carefree and stress free as they can, because it will come a time where they are going to be the ones primarily managing their diabetes. But until then, I say that the parents should take the brunt of the load, figuring things out, bolusing for them, just making sure they have everything that they need, and kind of just being that sounding board for your kid. So those were my tips for making life just a little bit easier, helping get through the day-to-day of managing your type 1 diabetes. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what point that you thought was super helpful, or even what point that you know you need to work on. For me, it is releasing the reins and letting go a little bit. I try to work on that day to day. I'm a work in progress, but we will get there. So you guys, I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday for a brand new diabetes video. And until then, I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Bye.